Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and today we're going to look a little bit more at Bryan Kohberger, the Bryan Kohberger case. But I'm a little burnt out on this guy, and I don't really care anymore. So, I'm interested and curious about certain things. Some of the stuff that's going on with this guy, it's that, like, little bit, it's getting leaked out. We don't know what's true, what's not true, whatever. Most of everything is speculation. It's hilarious to watch. I don't really care. But there's an interesting thing that's happening right now that I want to show you guys, and it has to do with astrology, because I'm an astrologer. So, here we go. I'm a psychic astrologer and a psychic reader here. And so here we go. So watch this, and I'll show you the astrology in 1 sec, and we'll have a tarot reading to see what's going on with this guy. But check it out. This girl right here, this is our tarot screen. We'll be back in a sec. This girl right here, Brittney J. Hislope, apparently, and I can't find her Twitter feed, but she goes on and she went on and on Twitter. This girl apparently is in super love with Bryan Kohberger, like super love with the guy. And so it's hilarious. And it just goes on and on and on. Now, when you look at this Facebook page, this looks sketch. All right, all this recent stuff here, single, January, no friends, photos. This looks like either a catfishing page or it's just straight BS. It really does. Or it appears to me as if someone put this page up to hate or troll this particular woman. This is what it looks like to me. However, if someone had done that, they would have been doing it for a long time because she... apparently on Twitter, which I can't find her thing on Twitter, but I was sent some of her tweets. She has a real thing for criminals. Like she does. Now, I thought when I heard this, okay, maybe she's looking for publicity. Maybe she's just chasing on things. As I was looking for her information, I saw a bunch of people who are just, bunch, like so many. Just regurgitating nonsense. And that's all they're doing. Regurgitating nonsense to make themselves be seen, right? They're just, it's for attention. They're regurgitating nonsense for attention. So that might be kind of the case I thought that might have been the case with this girl, just regurgitating nonsense, just trying to catch a wave here, so to speak. But I don't know, maybe not. So I had to look at the astrology, and I'll show you right now, and you're gonna be surprised at what I saw. Here we go. Are you guys ready? And then maybe we'll come back for a Kohberger thing. So check this out. So let's pull up some charts here. And so she's born November 21st, 1987, right at 4:14 a.m. in Somerset, Kentucky. Now the joke is, she's born on the same day as this Kohberger guy. So like different year, same day. November 21st. And he's also November 21st, different year, 94. All right. And okay, so here we go. So let's pull Brittney's chart back up again, and I'll show you some things here. So when I heard about this, and you know how we do it here in the sunny side, I hear about it and I start to ask questions. Well, she probably has this. She probably has this. She probably has this in her chart. If she really does this, and then, these are things that I say. I hear the story and I'm like, oh, she probably has this. So let's go in and check out what she does have. So she has a major fetish for bad boys, right? Where would that show up in the chart? But it's not just bad boys, right? It's not just bad boys. I wouldn't call Kohberger a bad boy. I would call him a psycho. I would call him a real reclusive. I wouldn't call him a bad boy at all. I would call him the keyboard jockey is what I would call him. All right, so here we go. And plus, she doesn't really have an addiction to bad boys in her chart, but she has something else. So when I heard she had an addiction, I looked at this chart and I heard some things, and so she has going to jail in her chart. It's hilarious. She has movement restricted. She has a couple of aspects here where when combined, it really could indicate going to jail. Now, forget about all of that for a second. There's an interesting thing in her chart where her Venus right here, how she loves. And this should be important to you guys because we just went through this transit last week. Now, it's not that rare. It happens every year. Same with that Uranus thing. You know, right now I'm talking about how Uranus is moving direct. Well, it happens every year. It's not the biggest deal, but it's separating from the North Node. That makes it a big deal. Okay, that doesn't happen all that often. Retrograde Uranus happens every year. So just some things to pay attention to. So this Venus-Saturn thing happens every year. This conjunction right there, regardless of all of this stuff surrounding it, that Venus-Saturn thing happens every year. And so many people are born with this in their chart, and not necessarily the addicted to. I'll further explain it. So it's Venus is rapport. Venus is like how you want to love, wherever it is in your chart. This is how you want to love, how you want to relate to others, or what you want to relate to, or what or how. Like it can call it, there's only a couple of planets, right? I think there's a lot of stuff. They're responsible for a lot of stuff. Anyways, Venus is love for the most part, so the moon a little bit, and rapport. It's how you want to get along with people. You know, Venus and Saturn right here, Venus and Sagittarius right here, she probably wants to make people laugh. She's probably quite fun. And so, but having said that, maybe not. The Saturn is right there. So Venus, you're loving this Saturn thing. So it's really weird. Like, you know, like if Venus made an aspect to Jupiter, you might really have a lot of rapport with optimistic people. Or if it was making an aspect to the sun, you might really like showy and dramatic people. Or the moon, you might like moody people. Or Mars, you might like aggressive and, you know, sexy people. So with Saturn, you kind of got that pull towards that restrictive kind of like uptight mofo, which Kohberger is. But there's another thing going on in this chart. So I'm just showing you this right now to show you that. And we all know, okay, so that's the deal with her love life. Her love life is colored with this Saturn kind of pull, right? So maybe older guys, younger guys in, you know, and so the jail thing. So Mars in the first house is going to make her pushy. Mars in Libra is going to make her pushy and argumentative. It's so funny. It's she's going to be very pushy, put herself first. Over here, there's you know, when you combine this together, this could indicate time in jail, but it's not really the point of what we're looking at. You know, she has movement restricted in her chart. She's, you know, driving problems, certain things, you know. So, but in this situation, you know, she has divorce in her chart. If she ever gets married, she has multiple long-term relationships in her chart. You know, maybe a little bit of death behind the scenes, maybe a little bit of cheating in relationships. You know, people attacking her all the time out of the blue. When I saw that, I was like, oh, and then I looked at the thing and I saw her Facebook page and I'm like, oh, this is a little sketch, right? Okay, but that's the deal. So, you know, so that's the deal. You can see it in her chart where she has this flavor. She's, you know, to people. So she has this flavor, this vibe, this rapport, this, you guys call it, oh, that vibration, you vibrate with me. Like whatever kind of new agey bullshit word you want to use. She's digging, right? Venus in the third house. She's digging guys who have their movement restricted. Everybody get that? If it was over here, you might like married men. So like you might like married men. If it was over here, you love in secret. You get in secret relationships. Right there, people are attacking her. So, you know, that's the deal. Over here, she does a lot of stuff in secret. You know, her physical body is important to her. And that's the deal, man. That's the deal. She might get some major plastic surgery in this lifetime. And she's always thinking about the way she looks. All right, so that's just a little rundown on this to show you guys astrologically where it might show up, where someone might fall in love with someone whose movement is restricted. You know, if Mars was in the third house, maybe she'd fall in love with race car drivers, you know, people who are moving around a lot. Or maybe if it was in the sixth house, you know, some kind of thing, or made in a, you know, some kind of aspect. Maybe she'd like athletes or pets or something, but that's the way it is right now in her chart. Now, I'll show you one other thing where this video's taking longer than I thought, but you guys, you know, Sunny rambles a little bit, right? So now watch this. For those who checking out in relationships, watch this. So that's just a little bit in her chart. Now check this. She's on the inside and Kohberger's on the outside, because for certain reasons here. I don't want you guys can figure it out on your own. Here we go. Now, she's obsessing over this guy. So I thought it was like, I originally thought she was one of these people trying to surf some fame. Why not? And then I went to research and I thought, well, she's just like, this is not a real account at all. Someone is really searching some kind of nonsense here. And then I looked at her chart in particular and I thought, you know what? I have a feeling she really does she falls for guys who are in jail, or she falls for guys who have their movement restricted. She could fall for army guys. They have their movement restricted, right? She doesn't just have to fall for guys in jail. It just seems like a bit of an easy target for her, right? Most people date easy targets, right? So most people end up with people who live right beside them. All right, so here we go. Or most people end up the lazy daters. Here we go. Next. So I thought that, and now I see this. And then we look at this chart and check this out. She has her sun conjunct her moon, right? We talk about this on the channel all the time, this aspect right there. Her sun is conjunct her moon, right? She's very she's a very self-directed person. Sun conjunct moon people, they tend to do what they want to do and they don't really care about other people. That's in addition to her Mars in the first house, right? She has two separate things here, which make her pushy and self-centered. But that's not the point. The point is, Kohberger has his Pluto and his sun, obviously his sun, because they have the same birthday, right? It's kind of a little bit on the irrelevant side here. But what's not irrelevant is the moon, her Mars at 28 degrees, her nodes at 29 degrees, her Chiron at 27 degrees. That is a lot. Her Uranus at 25 degrees. All of that stuff, there are a bunch of midpoints on here that lock in. So all of that, that's a lot of stuff. And it locks right in to Kohberger's, his Jupiter, his Sun, his Pluto. Wow. If I were looking at this chart, if I looked at this chart all by itself without knowing any of the nonsense that I just related to you guys, I would say, holy smokes. I would say these guys have a psychic connection. I would say they have a psychic connection. And I would say the Pluto person has a very strong influence on the moon person. And that's exactly what we have. Even though he's not trying, or maybe he doesn't even know she exists, the Pluto person has a very strong influence on the moon person. And the Pluto person can affect the moods of the moon person. It's also a psychic connection. It's also a very intense connection. It's her Mars is pushing towards his sun, right? Her Mars is moving in this direction and it's chasing his sun, right? You guys see how that works? All right, whatever. You guys forget it, whatever. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, so that's what's going on. So again, I originally thought blah, 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 blah. But the reality is, she probably really actually does like this guy. It's so crazy. It's one of the, at nighttime when I'm looking at your charts like this, I'm like, all right. And I'm like, let's go see what's up with this guy, right? We'll check. Because so many of you guys bring me charts of guys you might like, right? And I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, okay, this guy seems okay. Watch out for this. He's okay. This. And, or we might see the Synastry and we'll be like, hey, this might be really work out. The guy really likes you. Well, in this situation, there's a real connection here. So I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know how any of this is going to happen, but that's the deal. And look at it lower down in the chart. His nodes are at 13 degrees and her Pluto and her Mercury at 10 and 11 degrees respectively. There's a serious amount of connection in this particular chart. And so connection, obsession, now, there are other things in this chart. I'm not doing a full reading for these guys. And look, it's almost 15 minutes now, so there's no full reading. But, when you guys see me do charts, the first thing I look at are Chiron aspects in Synastry here to find out if you guys are even going to be together. You might love each other tremendously, but you physically might not be able to be together. You might live on different parts of the world. This guy's in jail, whatever. And so... And, that's what the deal is. And I've had other Sunnysiders ask me to read charts of their guys when they go to jail or their girls when they go crazy. And so or when, when the girls cheat or something, are they coming back, or the guys, whatever, so whatever. And so, but this is fascinating. I was fascinated. And I'm not going to tell you about this being together. It's Chiron stuff. That's a different astrology thing. You'll have to tune it in the nighttime if you want to see how I do that. And I'm not going to look for any complications like it's because obviously the guy's going to jail for 1,000 years. And so, and if he came out of jail, so if he was removed from, like if he was let free, so she has a thing for guys who have their movement restricted. But at the same time, she really likes Bryan Kohberger. She really does. She's obsessing over him. So there you go, guys. I thought it was quite fascinating when I saw this thing. All right. Shall we go back? Shall we do shall we do a little reading for this guy and see what's going on? Not a big one. I wanted to do a small video, but I thought that was fascinating. So, for the Sunnysiders here on my channel, all right, the Sunnyside, they dig this stuff. So, I thought you guys might dig it too. All right, here we go. Kohberger, 3 cards for Kohberger. Oh, his day in the sun is over. It's look at this. This is the card of super partying, right? The 9 of Cups. Not like 3 of Cups, like celebration with people, but dreams, hopes coming through, like your dreams coming true. This reverse, man, he's hoped. He's like bad dreams coming true. I'll show you guys right now. Hold on a sec. So Queen of Cups is the 9 of Cups is usually a pretty good card. Nines can be pretty good here. One sec. Okay, 9 of Cups. Check this out. Wishes coming true. Contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability. Reversed. Very, 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 very negative dreams coming true. So if this guy had dreams of being famous, he's now infamous. If he had dreams of figuring out how the criminal mind really works, that dream is coming true in a very negative way. Holy smokes, guys? And then we have the 10 of Wands reversed. Wow, something's going on here. This guy's case doesn't make sense. I just wanted to tell you about that girl, but as I'm reading these cards, every time I go to read these cards, something happens. Look at this. 10 of Wands. He's carrying a burden for someone, and it's reversed. It's getting him in trouble. This guy might be taking the fall for someone. There's no way he's taking the fall. Like this guy's clearly like this. Anyways, this is burden, extra responsibility, hard work, and this card is reversed. So this guy is taking the he's carrying the major burden, right? This is interesting. So this is 9 of Cups. He has to face to the music of some really bad dreams coming true. And then we have the 10 of Wands reversed. He's carrying all the load here. And then we have the 9 of Wands reversed. Oh my God. So there's a bit of a fight, perseverance. So the 9 of Wands is perseverance. You're supposed to push through, but it's reversed as well, right? Dedication, hard work, courage, persistent, test of faith. It's reversed. The last stand, boundaries. So clearly this guy overstepped his boundaries, obviously, or someone else overstepped their boundaries. It appears, wow. So I like all the signs point that this guy was there or something screwy happened. We don't have no idea really, but the cards right now, just as this quick reading here, it looks like he's doing too much for some. So this stuff here that's reversed right here, these 3 cards, it means this stuff's not happening the way it's supposed to happen. So he was supposed to have fun, and it was supposed to be like some kind of thing, or he was figuring it out. He was observing something. It was happening, but it didn't happen properly. And it went bad. And he's carrying too much of a burden. He's doing too much for someone else, too much of a load here. And no one else knows what's going on. It's reversed. And then this 9 of Wands thing here, this is very much one last fight. He has to push through. But someone along the way caved in or buckled or amscrayed or something, or someone jumped the gun, because this is reversed. And so the perseverance isn't really, the long-term view. It's not really going to happen. So next, or there's definitely a bump in the road that he succumbed to. Normally when I see 9 of Wands right side up, I say there's one little bump in the road left to go. And the next, well, here we go. 5 of Cups, regret, remorse, despair. no more girls. So, like, this is a bad card, man. 5 of Cups reversed. Oh, poor guy. Well, no, poor guy. The guy knifed the hell out of some whole bunch of. Oh my goodness, what is his problem? He could have. All right, regret, failure, disappointment, pessimism, loss, grief. What are you gonna do? So, I'll tell you something. This 5, we're not going backwards in the 5 because this 5 is right side up, but this 5 comes from the 4, and the 4 of Cups is rejecting something that's good for you. It's pushing away the love, and then you end up with the 5. You're alone in despair. So, interesting situation here, which is happening in this reading. And then we have the 3 of Cups reversed. So there's partying involved. You know what, guys? This 3 of Cups thing. Well, I don't know if this reading looks like there's more people involved here. Like, you know, 10 of Wands. This 10 of Wands, this card in the background. That's like you're doing too much for other people. This 3 of Cups, 3s involve other people. You know, the 9 of Wands, you know, perseverance. 9 of Wands isn't about other people, but the 3 is. So here you go, 3 of Cups reversed. This indicates someone was partying it up too much. It could also indicate a bit of peer pressure along the way. Ooh, that's fascinating. Peer pressure, Sonny. Ooh, yeah. All right, next. Final card for today. I hope everyone has a super amazing day. Thanks for joining me here on the Sunny Side. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope you like that little astrology thing about Brittney. I thought it was pretty neat. And that was pretty neat. If you have any astrology questions, bring them to the late night tarot thing. Oh, we also guessed the tarot cards. We play a psychic game on the channel. And that's nighttime, Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings, and starting this year on Sunday evenings as well, if you want to play the psychic game. Okay, here we go. Book it the boom. Oh! The Tower reversed. This guy is going to... Not so good. Actually, the Tower's reversed, guys. So the Tower is obvious, right? This is Bryan Kohberger. The Tower is obvious. Sudden change, upheaval, chaos, you know, revelations, disaster. It's the Tower. Things are going to come crashing down. Unfortunately, the Tower is reversed. So this reading here is not a straight ahead reading like, oh my God, that's so easy. That's so this, that's so this, that's so this. Not at all. It appears that, no, Sonny, the Tower reverse means they're going to fry his ass. I disagree. There's going to be some confusion here. This Tower, it's not going to happen in the way that you expect it. It's reversed. It's not. So this change that's happening, this sudden upheaval, we're going to find more and more things happening. We're going to find out more and more as we move along. And in the summer, when we actually look at the case, we'll check it out. Remember, astrologically, this guy was arrested under Mercury retrograde. So there are going to be problems with the situation here. So, it's going to be a different way of approaching things. Just like his first trial, or I can't remember what you call it, but that thing was supposed to happen within 2 weeks. They're pushing it off for a couple of months. That's the kind of thing that's going to happen with this Mercury retrograde. That being arrested under Mercury retrograde. They're going to be a little bit of adjustment period. So I'm not surprised to see some of these cards reversed, like the Tower reversed, like the 9 of Wands reversed. The 3 of Cups reversed is a little interesting. Maybe he did know somebody, because maybe there are other people involved. But maybe there are other people involved. Although this 5 of Cups kind of indicates he might have freaked out. There might have been other people involved. It looks like he's taking the rap according to this reading, and the 10 of Wands reversed, he's taking the rap. 9 of Wands reversed, 3 of Cups reversed. Looks like there might be other people involved. So there you go, just according to the tarot cards. But really, we don't know. Anyways, that's the deal, guys. This is the thing about that Brittney Hislope. I hope you have fun with this. Wishing everybody the best. If you want to learn more about astrology, just turn into the Sunny Side. If you want to learn more about the tarot, just turn into the Sunny Side. And that's the action. From TheSunnySide.net, I'm Sunny, wishing everyone the best of a beautiful day. And I'll see you guys soon.